Adam J. live coming to you from historic downtown Herndon, summing up DC Climate Week. And what no better two all-stars to talk about this. Dima Hadley, Senior Vice President, Digital Banking for First Climate Bank, powered by One Ethos. That's a fun one. And Rokas, Director of Commercial with Montgomery County Green Bank. How we doing today, guys?
We are concluding the end of DC Climate Week 2025. And what better guests to explain this are Rokas. There we go. Rokas, Director of Commercial from Montgomery County Green Bank, and Mrs. Dima Hadley, Senior Vice President of Digital Banking for Climate First Bank. I appreciate everybody being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So I have to bring this in, and we've talked about this several times, okay, where everybody knows Facebook, and back in the day in college, Facebook was huge. I really don't know what it's like now, but long story short, what I feel is essential for explaining DC Climate Week is these two guests. And why? Simply because in Facebook, we would have, back in college, these parties, these sober parties, okay? And the night after, we would all wake up, not hungover, and we would go right to Facebook, and we would look at the pictures. And it would really highlight the level of activity that we had at these sober parties. I have a nightly routine, and I'm going somewhere with this, okay? It is put my 5-year-old to bed, pray, meditate, sometimes meditate, pray, and then I go to bed, okay? I'm a dinosaur, and my wife, she just puts up with it. I love her to death. Long story short, we still put my son to bed. I am still happily married. I would pray. The meditation didn't happen, however. I would go right to my phone, right to LinkedIn, and I would see you two at DC Climate Week, literally each and every minute of the nights, just going, oh, a new picture. Oh, there's tagging this person. They're tagging this person. You guys were having a ball. You guys were having a party. Before we dig into that and we pull back the curtains of DC Climate Week, Dima, please introduce yourselves a little bit. Then Rokas, you do the same, and really let's really talk about this DC Climate Week and turn this into, give me my dopamine fix back, because the pictures aren't happening as much, please.
Thank you so much, Adam. So my name is Dima Hadley. I'm the Senior Vice President Director of Digital Banking at Climate First Bank. Climate First Bank is actually the first FDIC-insured bank that was founded to combat the climate crisis. We use our deposits to do renewable energy. We actually just hit $1 billion in assets in March, so we exceeded that. And it's actually, since 2009, the first largest growing bank in the nation. So we're excited about that. We're
like a real bank.
A real
We're
bank.
talking about it.
Real bank, okay. FDIC insured, everything like that. We have deposit accounts. We have an SBA department, our residential mortgage department. We do it all. And we are now officially in all 50 states for solar. I actually run our digital branch. So think about it as where you can't get a physical branch. For example, we don't have a branch here in Virginia, right? But you can still bank with us because our online platform. So my customers are in all 50 states. I actually have 3 countries that they're in as well. So we have customers all over, and we're able to do that because we have that digital footprint through One Ethos. I'm also an advisor at One Ethos. And One Ethos does the technology that we use to be able to have that reach and not have to have that brick and mortar building.
So is One Ethos the tech part of the bank? Because again, if you go to your LinkedIn, and again, I'm not going to keep harping on this. Not only are you in like a different country every other week, and I'm going to make fun of you the entire episode about this. It's the truth. Where were you just? Where were you?
I came back from Uganda.
Okay, and then you went to Texas, and then you're going to be on a beach tomorrow. Is that the truth? Okay.
Yes. The beach is normal, though.
Serious about this.
The beach is normal.
Florida, I guess we're a little. Long story short, I look at the title on LinkedIn, and it goes One Ethos, and then it might say First Climate Bank, and then it goes
confusing.
And then I'm trying to explain it to our solar sales representatives. Okay.
So, let me actually explain that for you.
Please, because this entire episode is designed to really talk about DC Climate Week, the impact for the homeowners, the business stakeholders, our environment, and your solar sales representatives. So really, let's dig in, explain it. What does it mean?
So Climate First Bank is actually a subsidy of Climate First Bank Holding Company. So we have our holding company, and there's Climate First Bank and One Ethos. They're sister companies together. The best way to explain it, I'm actually getting new business cards and a new name tag. So it's the Climate First Bank powered by One Ethos, because together we go work hand in hand, or One Ethos powered by Climate First Bank. The reason for that, Climate First Bank is the customer. So think of your homeowner. That's the brand that they're going to see. But your sales reps, the installers, are going to see One Ethos because that's the technology that they use. The platform, the portal, it's all powered by One Ethos. So it goes hand in hand together. So it's Climate First Bank powered by One Ethos. My signature line in my email actually says that, because it gets really confusing. They're like, well, are you with Climate First Bank or are you with One Ethos? Like, where does this fit in, or where do I want the One Ethos loan? It's actually not a One Ethos loan. It's a loan powered through One Ethos, because that's the platform that's being utilized.
So Rogos, would it be fair to say I speak to my sales reps and I go, this is powered by One Ethos?
That is.
Because they're not, I mean, honestly, again, if I'm explaining anything to a homeowner, say I'm a sales representative, you're going to do business with GreenBrilliance, One Ethos. You're powered by One Ethos. Climate First is somewhere in the picture. All of a sudden, now I'm the homeowner. I'm not the sales representative anymore. I'm just going,
What did I just do?
who am I writing the check out to, or what am I talking about? Yeah,
and you're forgetting Montgomery County Green Bank in the.
well, I'm glad you brought that up, because again, the whole goal is to unite the two of you, which you were totally doing all over LinkedIn, and really join forces and tell the world why we've partnered up and what we're really doing for the solar market as a whole and how this impacts everyone. But first, please do me justice by explaining your last name and your title. Okay, I sent you a text this morning. I don't even know if you've read it, because when we were talking practically, you didn't even mention it. 1% of the population can pronounce your last name, and my last name is Seaman. So again, I'm not making fun of your last name. I obviously have no skin to go off of. But what? Give me a title. Plug yourself a little bit.
All right, so Rokas Beresniolas.
Oh, it's beautiful. There's no way this can happen.
But I'm the Senior Director of Commercial Business and Climate Finance for Montgomery County Green Bank. Montgomery County Green Bank is our first countywide green bank in the country. And it was started in 2016. It was not capitalized until about 4 or 5 years ago. And we are coming up to our anniversary, almost 10 years. We just moved into our own office out of incubator. I joined the bank about 4 years ago now. It was a true startup. And I think in 4 years we went from $3 million to close to $250 million now in the projects. And green banks are structured very differently. There's more and more that you can see now in a country. Ours is specifically is structured as a public-private partnership.
Okay.
So county started us, but we are set up as a not-for-profit organization. So we're getting funding through the county, and our mission is to help county achieve the climate goals and leverage the funds that we get. And the way that we do that, we work with the partners like Climate First Bank and One Ethos and others to take that 20 million plus minus every year that we get from the county and make it 100.
That sounds amazing. Could you both kind of paint a vivid picture for me, for the audience, on how that works?
So, and I want to mention that we are a bank of resources, but not necessarily like our Climate First Bank. We don't have ATMs, unfortunately, right? So we don't take deposits. We're more like a fund. And we do financing, energy efficiency, resilience, renewables, fleet electrification, EV infrastructure, anything that has to do with the climate change. We finance small projects. We finance new construction, primarily all commercial. We cannot do consumer loans, and that's where we have to partner up with others to make that happen. And maybe Dima can explain our extremely successful pilot that we just started.
Yeah, in November of last year, we actually launched our pilot program for Montgomery County for solar for residents, where they can do the solar system, the re-roof if they wanted to add batteries, and it can be included into it. Part of it, Rokas mentioned, they have a fund. So with that fund, what they're doing is they're putting aside a certain amount of money. So this was a pilot program we're wanting to do to make sure it was successful. So it was like $2.6 million that we put into this program to be able to do solar for residents of Montgomery County. Out of that, it's in two different buckets. There's a bucket for the entire county, and then there's a sub bucket for equity efficiency areas. So the entire county, our interest rate or our annual percentage rate for our loan is 7.99%. With this program, they're doing a rate buy down for Montgomery County residents. So instead of it being 7.99, it'll actually be 4.99% for the first 10 years, which is a huge savings, right? Think of all that interest that Montgomery County is actually paying on behalf of the customer, but it actually gets a little bit better for those areas that are in the equity efficiency areas or low to moderate income areas that are specific. There's like a map that they utilize to share what those areas are. They actually buy the rate down to 0%. So that customer is actually getting the first 10 years when every payment they make is going towards principal, paying that loan off faster. So through that fund, we're able to take, so we're using deposits we're still doing a loan for them, but it's making it more affordable for those homeowners because of that funds that they're utilizing. So we're able to stretch those dollars. You mentioned the $20 million to make it into $100 million. That's how it's being done. It's through that partnership.
You just work together. Okay.
No black, no roulette here.
So if I'm a homeowner, basically, does that mean to me that if I want a solar system and I live in Montgomery County, I'm not going to say it's easier to finance solar, but it seems like there's less of a burden on a finance fee.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's a huge savings, honestly. So if you look at it, I want to say when we did an average, it's a $40,000 loan. It's like a $10,000 savings during the first 10 years that the homeowner is saving, that essentially that they're not paying an interest. Because think about a mortgage, right? You know, when you get that HUD statement where it tells you what the total cost of this project is going to cost you at the end of the term of it.
Scary,
right? It's the sticker price it's insane. You see, like it's doubled.
They've added the rubber mats.
Yes.
They've added the complimentary cargo carriers in the trunk. That
everything
Tesla,
else.
by the way,
So instead
is
of
complimentary.
instead of $40,000, it's now almost $100,000 that they're paying if they keep it for the term, which is 30 years that we offer. So our program, it's a 30-year program where they have that. The goal is to make the payments lower. But instead, that interest that they're paying, it's going to be much less because Montgomery County Green Bank is actually paying the interest, a buy down of that for the first 10 years. So that sticker price is not as bad anymore. And most customers would actually be able to pay it off during those 10 years. So after that, they're just adding savings to themselves because they're not having that utility bill or those costs added to it.
So how is that different than another solar bank giving a solar loan? Unlike Sonova, and we're not talking about Sonova because they're not paying or I don't think they're going anywhere.
The difference is, so with the loan that we have at Climate First Bank, it's actually a 30-year product, no prepayment penalties, no dealer fees, and I think that's the difference. The dealer fee. We have no dealer fees in our loans, and that's actually a savings average of 35%. I think they go up to 40% in some financing institutions, but customers can save average 35% off the bat. So their payments are going to be lower. If they were to pay it off in 5 years, they actually have a savings there because they are not having that dealer fee added onto it.
What about the taxes?
We do not require the tax credits. So there's a federal tax credit. There's also state ones in certain places too. I believe Virginia has one. DC has one as well. Those credits on the state level, it's 30% currently. So if they're able to use that 30% credit, they can choose to apply it to the loan and pay it down, or they can keep it. If they have credit card debt or debt that are higher than what they're paying in interest for the loan, they can pay that off instead. So it gives them that flexibility. Whereas with other companies, that credit needs to be applied to the loan to maintain that payment that they're having. If it's not applied in 18 months, their payments are going to double. So it's a surprise for them. It's a shock. Like, we don't want that to happen, right? So it's all completely transparency. The biggest thing we promote is ethical solar finance because of the transparent way that we do it.
And we like that. Yeah. So, and it's not just solar. So you got solar, new roof, and battery storage.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So what's pinging me in the back of my head is a lot of times a homeowner, when they get solar, they need a new roof. Okay, the structural integrity of that roof, unfortunately, it's not there. It can't hold the solar panels. It's not necessarily a curse. Okay, or they want to get a battery, or they for their solar system, or they want to do a few other things. Please elaborate on that.
Well, the beauty is that, it's like when people look at this program, sometimes they just like, well, I need to replace the roof. Yeah, this is a, great program. I wasn't thinking about solar, but, if I put solar, I can get financing and finance my roof, at the subsidized rates. And new roofs, by the way, also provide a little bit of savings and energy efficiency as well. So, and Dima, do you have latest numbers, how successful this program is?
I looked this morning, we were at 4.7 million and 1.3 of the actual incentive funds.
How many transactions? How many homeowners?
96 so far.
Wow, a couple months.
In a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not jumping the gun. This isn't the end of the podcast, but
it's a great, it's huge impact.
Yeah.
Because every little bit counts, and so we thought this whole pilot, it's going to last for about a year, and we're going to have to.
By summer, we're going to be having funds. Yeah.
So we're going to tweak it a little bit, and Dima and I are working on it. We also want to add energy efficiency measures as well into it, because
it's not just solar. It's not just there's so much that goes into this energy efficiency bubble, as I'd like to call it.
Because Adam, if you put the solar on the roof, right, you probably want to make your house efficient, right? Because if you have solar and you have old appliances and old HVACs and old windows, you're going to be using, all that solar.
Get a little closer to me. I like it. Yeah.
How come you have a nice chair?
You want the chair? You can have the chair. It's okay. It's all right. He's been talking about this since we started. That and my loud voice.
So, we want to add other energy efficiency measures, and
it makes a huge impact. I actually personally recently just had to get my ACs replaced. I also did solar, and I had to get a new roof as well. And if I would have just done one or the other, you wouldn't have seen the savings. I literally have almost a $0 utility bill just because of everything that you do. And we want others to do the same thing, right? You don't want to just do it halfway. You're going to do something, you're going to do it the full and make it complete.
I love it. Again, it's an energy bubble that we live in, and so it's solar provides huge relief in most cases. Mm-hmm. Okay, but if the windows are old and not insulated properly, and what we do as GreenBrilliance, we can go and do a blow test. Okay, and long story short, I mean, look, all of the energy being produced, the AC is still going to keep running. Okay, I mean, we're not in Florida, Dima, but it is kind of hot. All right, or in any other country that you live in or work in, and sometimes I don't even know. And so people don't think about the fact that there's more than just solar, and I think that might be what part of Climate Week was also about. Okay, not just solar. And I know that we in brevity talked about, really what are we going to talk about on this show, and I specifically said, it doesn't need to just be solar. So maybe let's dig into that a little bit, and then we can dissect each other a little differently. What was really, in a nutshell, DC Climate Week about? Sum it up for us, because it's DC's 15 minutes from here, but I've been in the office for the last 5 days with project management. Yeah. You
should have came out. There was actually, so when I was asked to come out here to attend DC Climate Week, I looked at there's a website that you can sign up for different events. There were hundreds of events, like in different areas, different days. Every day there was events that you can sign up for and do. Most of them were free, honestly. There was not cost, or if there was, it was a minimal cost just to cover certain things. So the first day for us on Monday, we sponsored, One Ethos powered by Climate First Bank sponsored an event for networking. And I think a lot of it is networking at Climate.
And you made it apparent on LinkedIn as I was seeing those pictures in the middle of the night. Yep.
It's important, honestly, and because part of it, if I could sum it up in 2 words, it would be partnerships and hope. And that's through networking, right? So you're networking with individuals of different areas, different aspects, green banks, private banks, right? Technology companies as well. There's policymakers. There's different people in the space that you want to be around and talk to, because they may know somebody else that can assist you. What we're doing with Montgomery County Green Bank, we want to do it nationwide with other green banks, with other CDFIs. And to do that, you need to be able to be in front of the right person and have the right conversations and make the right connections. And that's what Climate Week was about, honestly. And it's the first year that DC is hosting it. It's actually the first time that I've attended. And you couldn't have tell that it was a first time. I've seen pictures for Climate Week in New York, Climate Week in San Francisco, and it's huge. I feel like this was just as huge. But Rokas, you've experienced it a lot more. Please share your take too.
Yeah, certainly many great events, and we hosted a couple events as well. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday we had
American Bazaar
Green Bank open house because we moved to the new office.
Yeah.
And
Rockville?
Yeah.
I actually met a customer there, 2 customers there that night that actually did the loan program with us too. So that was awesome to hear their feedback and to see them in person.
Yeah,
At the open house.
Very positive feedback. Yeah, but certainly lots of great events, lots of great panel discussions.
Rokas was actually on a panel. Him and Chris Gucci, they at the American Bazaar, they actually spoke on partnerships too, and they did a panel, which was awesome.
Partnerships and innovation. I think what climate finance requires a lot of thinking outside the box, how to structure the transactions. And through the green banks, I think you can achieve that. We actually have a pretty cool new pilot that we just launched, electrifying food trucks with the Climate First Bank. Dima, you want to?
Yeah, we're working with Montgomery County and the Green Bank to do food trucks where they can change it from the diesel generators. They can electrify and do electric ones.
Okay.
No more hearing that. So, you can have a conversation without yelling and being in person. I actually experienced, when Rokas told me about this, we were here in December or November. He had mentioned the program to me, and I had just gotten back. I'm going to give Adam ammunition. I was in London, but on vacation.
As I said, everywhere. Okay.
But I experienced it firsthand. There was an ice cream truck that was actually electric. It was not, you didn't hear any noises. It was amazing to see that. So when Rokas told me about the program, I was extremely excited. I'm like, that would be amazing. We need more of that here because you mentioned New York, right?
Sure.
The food trucks in New York, the noises, plus the fumes, the gas, the smoke.
You're used to it.
But you shouldn't be.
I don't disagree with you. It's just ingrained in me.
Yeah.
It's normal. You get a hot dog, I mean, it is what it is.
But through this program, we can help food trucks not have to be used to that. They can make a new normal, which...
I like that. A new normal.
A new normal. So it's a great program where they are able to do the loan. It's a discounted rate Montgomery County is offering them where they can get a 0% loan from us where they'll pay the fee, but also discounted in fees, things like that, to be able to help them electrify their system a lot faster. Most...
What's the application process for this?
It's all electronic. So they have to go through Montgomery County first. They start that process to make sure they qualify for the grant with Montgomery County. Not the Green Bank, but the actual county.
I was pointing at it.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting. I was like, wait a second.
Not Montgomery County Green Bank, Montgomery County. And then through the partnership, Montgomery County will actually refer the client to us. They submit an application. Once they submit the application, then they'll go ahead and they'll get the installer. They pick that. I believe GreenBrilliance is actually one of the installers, part of the program as well. They will be able to... install the system, and then once they're done with that, they get the credits and they pay the loan to us.
It's beautiful. So I mean that's the innovation, right? And we're gonna test it. Do we have any applications yet?
Almost one.
What is it? I gotta ask. What is it almost?
So Montgomery County has to give them an approval code. So once they have the approval code, then they can move forward with it. So the thing too with the pilot program, they have the option of just taking a grant to pay for the system and then paying the difference in cash. Or if you can't afford it to pay in cash, then you can do the loan. So it may be where we do 10, 15 right now, or it depends on what the individual situation is for the business.
So I think in Montgomery County, if my memory serves me right, there are about 200 200 food trucks
Registered.
In this pilot, we're going to try to electrify 25. And, if it works, this will be open for the rest of the country. And be amazing. Climate First Bank.
Maybe I'll set up an ice cube shop. What is it on?
Sure.
No
Make
fumes.
a good amount of money in the summer. I mean, it's seasonal, but I mean, literally.
Do a soup one after when it's cold.
And the guy, literally, this is an example. Like, my son was at Daddy Please, okay, sure. And we're at the truck. I'm looking at it, and these boxes are coming from Costco. But again,
Convenience.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Okay, all right. I wanna separate you two for a moment. All right, Dima, I'm gonna pick on you first. Again, I am extremely surprised that you're in the office. We've said this countless times because
But I'm not. I'm in Virginia.
You are in. Where did you just get that from?
DC. I was in DC. Before that,
DC,
Uganda.
Uganda. Where were you before that?
Dallas.
And then before that,
San Antonio.
Okay. So, my point being, you're a well-traveled lady. Okay. And then where are you spending your Thanksgiving?
North Carolina.
All right.
With my family.
With your family. And it's amazing because you still are responsive. You still send me some texts. I don't know what service carrier you're at, but we need to discuss that because AT&T does not work to me. When we started our relationship, what were some of the things that stuck out? Do you remember the conversation?
Yes. We talked about doing this podcast right after that.
I think we did, right? Yeah.
Honestly, it was with what GreenBrilliance was doing. You guys have, the technology piece too. There's synergy with solar installers that we work with. That's like-minded, the ethical part of it, right? You guys want to do the right thing, make sure the customer's taken care of. And I think Cindy introduced you to me because of the program we do with Montgomery County Green Bank. Through that program, we're able to offer a 0% loan for the first 10 years to residents of the efficiency areas, and then 4.99% for the first 10 years for all residents of Montgomery County that's not in those areas. So we talked about that program, but outside of that, you guys are in other states, other areas too, outside of Montgomery County. And we talked about, what we can offer your clients in those areas. We have a 30-year product that is 7.99% for the annual percentage rate, no dealer fees, no prepayment penalties. We do not require the tax credit. And I think that's something that highlighted for you, the no dealer fees. Yeah.
It was a dealer fee, and honestly, being in Pennsylvania, Virginia, not DC yet. Okay, we're almost there. West Virginia, Delaware, Jersey. And obviously, did I say Maryland? Maryland, yeah. So Maryland was something that was literally just a kind of like it was 40% of it because I just kept going, hold on a second, there's no dealer fee, and in some areas it's literally 0% for a certain amount of time, and I followed up multiple times to make sure that like literally we get off the call and I'm starting to send texts. No, this isn't real, because once I let my sales representatives know,
he said, what's the catch?
I have to kind of figure out, like, okay, and they're going to be asking, and then they're going to kind of go, how do I pitch this to the homeowner? And the thing is, you don't need to pitch this to the homeowner, and that's what they were asking me. No, seriously, there's no dealer fee. No, so if my homeowner doesn't want big cash, and this is, I'll let you say it, what I think distinguishes Climate First, Beg, of looking at your shirt, because we've got a couple names on her towel on LinkedIn. You can explain that.
On the other side.
Yeah, One Ethos, Climate First, Beg. When I'm a sales representative at a house and I'm talking to the homeowner, one of the disadvantages for using another lender, okay? And I'm not talking about Sonova because they're not in the picture, and I'm just going to ding them over and over again. But long story short, when I'm using another lender, when we're using another lender, sometimes, not always, but that homeowner is not just focused on the monthly payment. They're actually focused, depending on the circumstance, on the entire loan amount. Okay. And you may have said this earlier in the show, but when you get your mortgage, you look at the HUD, you're looking at oh my gosh, I'm paying this. When really at the end of the day, and we use Blaze, okay, that's our solar sales interface. It will show you that, okay, here's cash price, $50,000. Here is, we don't use Sonova anymore, but here's another lender, okay, and it is $79,000. And then One Ethos comes in and he goes, no, the cash price is $50,000. So, again, I'm a picture person, $50,000, $79,000, $50,000. It almost seemed too good to be true. So I consistently followed up with you, because when I'm back at that kitchen table and I'm the sales representative, I'm explaining this to the homeowner, I'm able to save that homeowner thousands and thousands of dollars just over a 30-year loan, which is amazing.
And I am back. We are back. I am in a different chair, Rokas. What I was just discussing was the relationship between Montgomery County Green Bank, okay, and Climate First Bank, powered by One Ethos. And what was really significant to me, okay, when I, Adam J., introduced myself to Dima, and Dima was explaining to me the no dealer fee and the attractive options if you live in Montgomery County. And I was honest. At first, the Climate First Bank was truly just going to be an option in Montgomery County. But why was it going to be an option in Montgomery County? I want you guys to talk to me about that.
Because of the partnership that we have with the Climate First Bank and Montgomery County Green Bank, where we can do the rate buy down. So the residents of Montgomery County were getting a much bigger savings. For example, all residents, it would be, instead of 7.99%, 4.99% for the first 10 years. And then certain areas, the equity efficiency areas, it would actually be 0% for the first 10 years. And I think that was one of the moments when your eyes lit up and you're like, okay,
I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. You asked, where's the catch? Where's the catch?
Over and over again.
Yeah.
I still do sometimes. I was texting her while she was in Nicaragua or at some far off land, over the Nile River, asking her a couple of those questions. She's responding. She does not have AT&T. As we aware, Adam J does not like AT&T, Costco Gabi on that. But no. So back to what I was saying, like the partnership is real with you two, and it's way past the LinkedIn pictures that do keep me up all night, and we keep harping on that. But long story short, I saw the value in just using Climate First Bank or Montgomery County, because if I'm a sales representative at the homeowner's table, I'm able to substantially save that homeowner's money. And when I'm an educated homeowner, I'm looking at the life of the loan for a solar system, and all of a sudden it quotes at $50,000. Again, I'm just using numbers, and all of a sudden, wait a second, the life of the loan is $92,000. Like, where is that? Well, that's the no dealer fee, okay? Getting that $50,000 versus the $92,000, and on top of that, that's the really, in my opinion, annual percentage rate that just can't be beaten. So let me be a little better now. What else does Montgomery County have to offer? And I'm not singling you out from Dima. I'm just trying Montgomery County Green Bank. What is that? Where else do you guys come into play?
So when it comes to consumer, we do programs through partnerships like this one. But otherwise, on the commercial side, we can do any type of renewable energy efficiency or resilience transactions. We also have technical assistance program where we can help the building owner to identify energy conservation measures. We can subsidize our shire level energy audits. We can cover feasibility studies. If there's a property owner or a church or faith-based institution trying to figure out whether they can put solar or maybe EV chargers, we can cover some of that study cost as well. And in equity emphasis area, up to 100%. And those studies are not cheap. You got some of the common ownership communities, calling us and like, hey, we have this garage. All these residents are asking for EV charging stations. So you have to go there and do a study. The engineer, an electrician has to go in there and do a study, and they're like $20,000-$30,000. They're not cheap. So we can assist and help cover some of that cost as well.
It's beautiful.
Adam J Live. And that's a wrap. DC Climate Week 2025 with guest stars Rokas, Director of Commercial for Montgomery County Green Bank, and Mrs. Dima Hadley, Senior Vice President for First Climate Bank, powered by One Ethos. Catch us on our next episode with Align Solar Protection, giving you all the protection you need for a lifetime with your residential solar system. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, whatever the heck we're streaming on. Give us a like and drop me a line at ajs@greenbrilliance.com for suggestions.